Hey everyone, welcome back to Automation. So today I've decided, again, we need more variety in the Autoflux game, so today is going to be another ultralight vehicle. This time, I heard the comments from the last time I made one of these. We're doing a boxer. And what we're going to try and do is we're going to try and balance power and weight. So what I want to do is get under 500 kilos, but I'd like to get like 300 horsepower, so it's going to be the most powerful light vehicle we've made so far. For that, I have chosen to use the 95 Coupe. It's sort of a Miata S2000-esque body. I just like it, so we're going to go with that. Now, it's important that we pick our chassis carefully. We're going carbon fiber monocoque chassis. That's the lightest chassis that we can get. We're also going carbon fiber there. We are going to go longitudinal because I'm going to try doing rear wheel drive. If the wheel spin is too much, then we're not going to be able to do it. But I am going double wishbone and push rod just because those are the lightest. For this, we're not going realistic in the slightest. We're going all the way up with the quality sliders. And as promised, it's a Boxer 4, magnesium insides, and I actually want to just leave it as a 2-liter. If we need more displacement, we will add more, but we should be okay with 2 liters. Dual overhead cam, and aluminum, pretty much everything. Inside is just billet steel. It's just going to be, we'll go lightweight forged to it. It's just going to be the best of the best here. And I don't think we're going to go turbo. If we need to, we will, but for now, let's avoid it. As per usual, injection is going to be just direct injection, just the best fuel we can get. It's probably going to rev pretty high, so let's put that up just as a baseline. Exhaust is an interesting one, because if we're going turbo, it's automatically cast. But because we get the choice, I'm going race, and I'm going dual as well. That will raise the weight a little bit, but it'll help with power quite significantly, so we'll raise that up. And we don't need any mufflers or anything, so right now it makes 150 horsepower. That's not bad, but you can see it's got more to give. Keep in mind that the ultralight max downforce car that I made had 121 horsepower. This one already has 30 horsepower more, and it's probably going to weigh about the same, so this is going to be pretty decent, I think. And just raising the cam profile, again, we're not being realistic at all today. Let's just put that all the way up. So we've got 240 horsepower without even trying. Just raise the RPM limit, raise the cam profile, 250 horsepower. Easy. You can see we're not even using our octane right now, so just raise up that compression a little bit. It's actually, that is ridiculously high compression, so something is off. Seems to be a restriction, maybe? Alright, so we can put the compression up to max, and then we can just raise the fuel. This is not good tuning, by the way. So we can max get 270 horsepower like that. Obviously, that's not going to work. I'm going to stick with 10.3 to 1 compression for now, because I haven't messed with the ignition timing yet. Let's advance this. Still no issues over here. We're actually doing some good. Oh, there it is. 296 horsepower with an exhaust reduction. That is nice. I'm tempted just to leave it, but I really want that 300, so I'm going to increase the bore just a little bit. There we go. 300 horsepower. It's perfect. So it's a non-turbo boxer with 300 horsepower, and we're going for the, I guess it's fastback body? I don't know, I just kind of like the look of it. It's very Honda S2000-esque. I mean, we can just like deform it into some monstrosity, but I feel that we might just be okay with leaving it. We don't need to do much. The S2000 is already a good looking car. Now for paint. I haven't decided what to paint this yet. Actually, when I was thinking about this, I hadn't decided what to make it look like at all. We're going to put as many fixtures as I usually do. I know that there is a possibility it adds weight. I really don't think it does though, just from the testing I've done, but that always could change with any update. So now I'm just going to decorate it. Hopefully it turns out well. Let's wing it a little bit here and see if it turns into something decent. Alright, this is an odd one for me, but I've decided to paint it purple. I don't know, I don't really make cars purple, but I've decided that we're going to do that for this one. We may as well experiment a little bit while we're here. So I'm thinking that I want to do pop-ups, but I also want to do lights underneath the pop-ups. Either that or we just go no pop-ups at all and we put these things up top. Well, it looks S2000-esque again. I mean, that's kind of what you expect with the body of one, but that's not bad. Just having these lights kind of elongated like this. Interesting. It really does not want to wrap around it though. My goodness, it's fighting me. Right, so I know I keep doing this, but I've stacked some headlights on top of each other once again. I'm liking it. This is a futuristic looking car. This is going to be an interesting one. The styling is probably going to be very mixed, so Hopefully it turns out okay. With a grill, it kind of looks like a fish, especially from the side. It's creeping me out a little bit. Maybe with just a few extra pieces it'll come together. Right now the fish is very strong with this one. I think you can tell when I've made something off of the top of my head versus looking at a reference, because it always seems to turn out like this. But I kind of like the way it's going. So I've come up with a new brand for this car. It's going to be VATS. Take a guess where that comes from. It's going to be this symbol here. And their signature design is going to be fish. Don't worry, I'm just kidding. I'll do better on the back. So I've been experimenting, but I think I'm enjoying myself just a little bit too much. Chrome spoilers like this are cool in some cases, but not today. We could always do a whale tail though. You know what? It's not even that bad. Oh no. One day we're gonna actually have to put a whale tail on one of these cars. But not today. So I've gone ahead and done a few things behind the scenes, and this is what it currently looks like. Not bad actually. Like, I did some side skirts, got the same rims as the Trig X. I got some mirrors on it. Door handles. I think I've picked out a decent spoiler for it. It's sort of a NASCAR-esque thing going on, as well as some big cannons out the back. Nice diffuser. It's coming along. Like, it's almost there. We just have to do some rear lights, a couple of final touches, and we'll be on to the drivetrain. So the headlight choices, or sorry, the taillight choices kind of sucked, so I just went ahead and made my own. I've got headlights on the back, but the colors are changed, so they should work. And just as I often do, we're going to be taking this piece here, putting it inside of the rear lights, and making our own plate indentation. Okay, so I know that it's a little bit awkward with its double lights, but it matches the front really well. Unfortunately, the wing has kind of broken apart. That's just the issue with the fixture itself. Moving it doesn't actually work. I don't know why, but we'll just have to leave that as is and hope that it fixes itself when we render. But this is it. This is the VATS, and it needs a name. And there we have it, the VATS E-Spec Boxer 300 horsepower. Hopefully it's light. We haven't even checked yet. I think it's come out pretty decently. It's definitely one of the more overstyled cars that I've done, but I think it turned out okay. Let's see. So I already did some of the drivetrain. I've done it rear wheel drive, manual 6-speed. We can go up to 286, so we're going up to 288. I just did up the spacing a little bit. We're probably going to struggle with wheel spins, so that will likely go down. Can't forget the quality. We've got radials, semi-slicks, biggest tires on the back that we can get right now, and once again, quality's going up. We'll probably get away with raising these a touch as well. Now, when it comes to brakes, ceramic brakes are the lightest. We're going 1-piston brakes, and the reason for that is that this is going to be very light already, so it shouldn't need too much in terms of brake power. We'll raise up these. We'll do kind of what we did last time with the, goodness, I forgot what it was called, like the CTS thing that we made. We'll have big brake drums and lower brake pad type. Hopefully that'll go well with the drivability. Okay, so for this, as a temporary thing, I'm going to go no under tray. We might change that if we have enough weight in the, like within the tolerance to go up to downforce, and we definitely will. I want this to be a very good handling vehicle. We'll come back to the wing angles and such in a bit, and we'll increase the brake flow as well. Okay, 1 seat, basic interior as always, and no power steering. We'll go ABS. Just so you people are aware, raising the interior quality lowers the weight, and we'll go low on the safety quality because we don't even need it. It's not going to make a difference though, and we will lower this so we can get a little bit less weight. When it comes to suspension, I'm going active sport, semi-active. We'll do a race preset. Now, I heard your comments last time about this line needing to be in the middle between these two, and we will try with that for that today. We're also going to, okay, it has wheel spin issues as predicted, but we're also going to be making sure the other graphs are okay as well. Alright, so the first thing we can address is the brakes. Right now it is incredibly strong. It actually, yeah, it's saying that the brake force is very high, so we'll have to adjust those just a little bit. We don't need as big brakes as it seems. We can lower this down and that will help overall. Okay, next thing on our to-do list is the wheel spin. It's 100% wheel spin in first gear. Let's see if lowering the spacing can actually do anything with that. Oh, and our top speed has gone up as well, so we can definitely increase that. Raising this will help with wheel spin, but in our case it's currently going well with just spacing. So we've managed to get rid of the wheel spin issue with our spacing being quite a bit lower, but what I want to do is we need to check out the overall. So it's 517 kilos. That's a little bit more than I wanted. Probably due to like wheel size and such, but that's within a tolerance. Like, I'm fine with that. Let's go back to aerodynamics. We need to fix this downforce issue. Right now the front actually has lift, so we've got to fix it. Right, so I have the front, so it actually does have some downforce, but our wing angle has to be all the way up, which is unfortunate. If we raise the rear, then we get pretty much nothing. So let's go to just 65 and we'll hope that's okay. It's really hard to tell if these things actually matter when it comes to the line movement. Like, things like brakes affect it quite a bit more. You can see here the line. If we increase the brake size, it should move it. It's like ever so slight movement up there. Let's just test something really quick. If we go downforce, all the way up, we finally have like decent lift. It's going to lower our top speed a little bit, but that's fine. And our wheel spin, it didn't even change, which is unfortunate. Our handling will be improved significantly, but it does gain a little bit of weight. So I might be an idiot. I changed to 5-speed, and it fixed the wheel spin basically for good. Like, there no more issues there. We're still pretty fast. We still, I mean, this is a little bit high, but we'll leave it high just for the sake of this. But drivability is at 99.9. Sportiness, 78%, but that's fine. This is a little bit better than it was. I don't know about this. Probably going to have to fix that eventually. Braking is still good. Downforce is still good. 3.4 seconds to 100. All I had to do was drop down one gear and it fixed it, so not bad. We're down to 550 kilos, which is 52 more than I wanted it to be, but that's okay. I think that it turned out okay. Let's go test it in Beam to make sure that that's actually the case. I hope that this spoiler actually works as well. This one has potential. Alright, so I've got the video paused because this car has a bit of an odd glitch to it, but I took the time to make a few small changes. Basically, I fixed the back so it's no longer as sloped as it was. Actually, it's more sloped. It's just sloped towards the back rather than sloped towards the wheels. Unfortunately, the spoiler did not turn out, but other than that, everything else turned out okay. I think that the color could have been a little bit better. For some reason in Beam it didn't come out the same. Usually that's how it goes. I really like the way that the back looks though. The headlights in the back that were turned into rear lights actually turned out really nice. Now, for the moment you might have not been waiting for, but here's the grand reveal. It won't stop bouncing. It's got this like slight bounce to it, and I think it has something to do with the rear suspension. But yeah, you can see it is currently bouncing. Not sure why. The max downforce had a weird issue, kind of like this, where it would roll backwards. I think this is the beginnings of it, just the way that automation exports very light cars. It just does this in Beam, and it's pretty annoying. But here's the best part. Oh yeah, we got a really big cam in this boxer engine, and my goodness, it sounds good. So let's go for a drive. And as predicted, wheel spin is an issue. But it's still quite a bit of fun. Alright, let's take off once again here and try not to break anything. But yeah, no, this car is an excellent one. I think, again, as with most of my vehicles, it's not quite as good at handling as it should be. I think that the King XR5 that I made is probably one of the best handling vehicles other than the max downforce car that I've made. This one is not quite max downforce, but it's pretty okay. The power is really there though. 300 horsepower is nice. We could have lowered the size of the engine to get it under 500 kilos, but I figured that for 550 and 300 horsepower, that is a really good power to weight ratio. As we just cruise through the mountains here, unfortunately the frame rate is not the greatest, but it is great. This car is a fun one. I'm really liking making these like unique vehicles for the Autoflux games. Like, I've very specifically decided to make a bunch of different types of engines this time so that things will be different. It's not all V8s and turbos. Like, we're going for some more interesting stuff this time. Hopefully you appreciate that. Oh goodness, this mountain road is a dangerous one. We can't really get up to speed, but this car will do almost 300 kilometers an hour, which is pretty much all you need. I don't think we're going to have a top speed challenge in the games, but we might. This one is probably not going to take it though. Alright, just cruising once again. We need to get to a straighter road so we can test handling. I mean, speed. Alright, before we get down to that straight road, we need to hit some curves, so Here we go. Let's see if this bouncing beast can do it. I mean, it probably can, if I was able to drive it. Oh no. There we go. Just have to be a little bit more conservative with the gas on this car, it seems. Its bouncing around is definitely not helping. It makes things a little bit weird, but you can pick up some serious speed going down these mountain roads, so I like it. This is the kind of car that I would definitely want to drive IRL. Oh yeah, cruising here. Hopefully, oh, can't keep control. Just gonna have to hit the gas and hope that the wheel spin saves us, and it actually did. Can't complain about that. Alright, here is the highway right here. All I want to do is get down here, reset, and then go for a quick top speed run. Okay, here we go. Throttle is all the way down. Okay, that was a mistake. Okay, here we go. We're approaching 200 kilometers an hour, up into 5th gear. Seems like 5th gear does a lot of the work in this car. Oh no, we've jumped it, and we're actually back on track still. Never mind. Well, we tried. Alright, it's time for one lap of our track this season. So far, we've got the Bimero up in first, the Group C Owl in second, the King XR5 in third, the Trig X in fourth, the King XR8 Performance, believe it or not, in fifth, Brodozer, Panther Tree Turbo, the Rhino in a pretty distant eighth, and the Sastiva, which is the Bugo, in a very distant last. That is over a minute and 10 seconds behind, a minute 12 actually. I think that this car is probably going to be somewhere up here, probably second, third, or fourth, but let's see. Alright, it's bouncing, it's ready to go. Is it? I mean, okay, it's not moving, that's good. Let's give it a go though. 3, 2, 1, and lift off. Well, thankfully not lift off anymore because the downforce has been fixed, but yeah, we have to be careful with this one. Coming around the corners, it is not too bad. Thankfully, we're pretty easily able to keep control of it on this course. If you hit the gas too much, then you're pretty much doomed to fail, but just going at a moderate speed, it's not bad. And the brakes are decent as well, like, very good considering how small they are. This might be another one-lap car if I can get this settled here. Coming around, oh, that was a little bit too much brake, but we can cut this corner just a touch. Whip around here, hopefully not crash. Goodness, well, we kept control of it. We just have to get around this final corner down at the bottom. And by the way, this is not the final corner, I was completely off. That's just the fast corner. We have to get through a whole other section here before we can say that it's done. Okay, well, it was going and I made it go more, but let's try again. Okay, coming around here a little bit nicer this time. We should be able to get it through. By the way, I probably should have mentioned this before, but I know that the engine is a square engine. I didn't really do that on purpose, but it worked out okay. It probably would be better if it was over square or under square, but it's fine, so don't worry. Let's get into the finish line here. I don't remember what the times were, but it's not first. It's probably fifth? That's a 1:34.2. It is third. Nice. Just barely beating the King XR5. Goodness. Well, that was only the second lap I did with that car, so another one for the books of, like, actually decent at driving. But anyway, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you thought in the comments. Please don't worry too much about these builds. They're just for fun. I'm not doing this as a super serious thing. Like, it's just competition between the cars I make and the cars I make, so it's not that big a deal. But please feel free to subscribe if you want to. I'm going to keep making videos like this and other videos like Simple Planes that I've been doing, and Burnout as well recently. Let me know what you think of those as well. I'll see you again on a Friday for another one of these.